CAA football fans, it has been quite some time since you've heard from me here in the off season, but that now has changed. We have a new member in the conference, and I'm here with the head man of the Sacred Heart Pioneers today, Coach Mark Nofri. Thank you for taking the time during this busy time as we get into spring ball. Has it really set in that you guys are now members of the CAA yet?
Um, Not really. I don't think it's going to settle in until, you play your first game and you keep going. The fall, you think about the fall, oh, it's a long ways away, a long ways away. It's going to be here before you know it. And yeah, it's a little different, Obviously, we're excited about going to the CAA. To me, it's probably one of the top 2 to 3 conferences in all of FCS. And, it's going to be a challenge for us and my kids. And they understand it. And we're preparing to hit the ground running here come August. And you know, start playing games in the CAA versus CAA opponents.
It's certainly not new to you playing in this sort of stratosphere, like you said, in FCS. You've been with the Pioneers upcoming on your 15th year and actually been a part of the program since 1994. So, in a profession that always sees coaches go from one school to the other, why has it been so similar to you to be at Sacred Heart for such a long period of time?
Um, I go back and people said the same thing. I just finished my 32nd year here and start year 33 in the fall. And one of the things that I'm big in loyalty. And it's pretty simple. I really enjoy the people I work with, and I really enjoy the people I work for. They've been great to me over the course of that period of time, and I feel like I owe it to them. I'm happy, right? You come to work every day and you're excited about getting up, going to work and pulling on campus. And, I always say too, the grass isn't greener. It isn't always better in other places. I don't think there's a school out there that's perfect, but I'm pretty loyal to Sacred Heart. I love what we're about and what we do. I love the support we have, and the people I work for are special. We've had a pretty special relationship, and I just didn't want to see myself leaving this because I don't know if any other school would offer me what Sacred Heart has. And it's about, being happy and being successful and having support. And I'm happy we've been successful and we have a lot of support. So why go somewhere else?
Yeah, it definitely checks all of those boxes for you. You were named associate head coach in 2002 before waiting in the wings for a while to get the head coaching job in 2012 at Sacred Heart. Being a position coach and again, working your way up, how did those experiences help you to become a head coach when your name was called?
Um, Everybody says, there's got to be a first, right? There's a first time you're going to be a head coach. And I don't think you really understand or are really prepared, even though I had been here a long time prior to it. Because when you're sitting in the head coach's seat, it can be a lonely place, and there's a lot of different responsibilities. And even though I've been here a long time, there's still things I need to learn, and I continue to learn. And it's different. Being a position coach is different than the head coach. To me, it's more along the lines of being the CEO of a company. You oversee everything, and you're not just coaching a position on one side of the ball. You're responsible for offense, defense, special teams, coaching the coaches, players. I mean, there's a lot to it. So it was a little bit of a challenge, and obviously, I had to learn on the run, and like most head coaches or first time head coaches do. But I have a great staff. I've had a chance to work with some great coaches that have gone on to other places. And the staff I have right now is excited. They're great, great bunch of guys. They're good coaches. They're teachers. And the same thing. They're looking forward to challenge and come fall.
It was a pretty easy transition for you, though, into this head coaching role with the Pioneers. You had tons of success, 5 NEC titles. You coached, I think, 2 dozen All-Americans, and you were nationally ranked for the first time. What was the key to all of the success for the program so early on in your head
I
coaching?
think I think it goes back to having great people around you and support from the administration. I've had great coaches when I started. I have great coaches now. Like I said, some of the guys that have coached here with me have moved on to bigger and better places. And it goes back to the people that are working with you. And do you all agree on everything? No, but they all have a vision and they all work together and they understand that we wanted to be successful and we bought in and we built the team a certain way and we've continued it. The coaches that leave and the new ones that come in, we try and talk to them a little bit before I hire them about what we're about, what we've done. And I want guys that are good people that are going to care about their position kids. They're going to work with them on off the field, academically, study hall. We're not just football coaches. We're mentors. And there has to be a line drawn between a player and a coach. But you can also let the players know, how you care about them and how you worry about them on and off the field. And I've had some great guys. And the other piece goes back to the administration. What's their vision of your sport, whatever you might be coaching, and how is the support from them? Are they behind you? Do they want you to be successful? Are they helping you out in the same time? And I can answer yes to all those questions. Being here for so many years before I came the head coach, like I said, no school is perfect, but I know some of the pitfalls or some of our limitations, and I'm able to work through those limitations, or have a better understanding of what they're expecting, and what we can do and what we can't do. And that's the key to being assistant for a long time at the same school you've been a head coach. You know everybody, right? You know everybody in each department on campus. You know the pitfalls, and you can work within those to make it better.
You already mentioned as well the level of competition in the CAA, playing schools that have been members of this conference for so many years. When you learned about the decision to transition into the league, what were some of those initial emotions?
It's going to be a battle every single week. There's no easy games. I think that CAA conference from top to bottom is a dogfight each week. Like it's going to be hard, and there's we knew that, and we're not naive to think that we're just going to walk in here and start winning games, but we got to be prepared. And it's my job to make sure the kids are prepared and the coaches are. We will fight and continue to play our brand of football, and hopefully, I have enough good players, and we play hard and play smart to put us in position to win some games in the CAA. Obviously, um, it's going to be a challenge. We know that, but I think we're ready for it. I think the guys are excited about it, and come September, we'll find out, where we're at and where we stand within the CAA.
From fans from around the league's perspective who have maybe seen Sacred Heart play on occasion over the last couple of years, what is the type of brand of football that they will see from Sacred Heart here in the upcoming season?
Mhm. Um, well, we kind of started this back in 2012 when I took over. And all the coaches kind of feel the same way. We're a blue collar type team. We're gonna come out. We're gonna try and run the ball. We'll take our shots downfield when we have to on offense, but we want to be able to establish the run and run the football. Defensively, we're gonna get after. We're gonna show you a lot of different looks. We'll bring pressure, but overall, the makeup of the type of student athlete that we want here, um, I want a kid that, it's a football junkie, I refer to them as. They love football. They don't play football because they're good at it or because it was a cool thing to do in high school, but they truly love football. They love practice. They love watching film. They love being in the coach's office. They're just guys that love football, love being around each other. They love their teammates. They're going to play hard. And I refer to those guys as grinders, guys that just, I know in the fourth quarter, I can count on that kid because he's a tough, hard-nosed kid. We've practiced hard. We hold kids accountable, and hopefully it translate to when we're playing in games in those tight games in the fourth quarter. I mean, this past fall, out of our 8 wins, I think we were down in 6 of those 8 wins in the third or fourth quarter and came back and won it. And to me, it's a tribute to the kids and how hard they are. How tough they are, how hard they play, and being football being important to them. That's one of the things you got to have. You can't just win on talent. You have to be prepared, play hard, play smart, and care about each other and find ways to win. And they do that. And that's the kind of brand of football you're going to see from us. I'm not going to deviate from what I believe in. It's kind of, it's what we believed in as coaches. We try and recruit those type of kids. We've won with that philosophy. We'll find out if it, works for in the CAA.
In this portion of the off season with spring practices coming up here shortly, what are you looking for the most in this upcoming group of kids?
Right now, we're looking to see some of the young kids, fight for spots in the two deep. We're looking at see who the leaders are going to be for this year. Obviously, it's a new team. Even with some kids coming back, you got to build chemistry, and you can't start in August. It's got to start in January. You got to find out who your leaders are and who some of these young kids are that you're going to be able to count on to win football games come fall. We talk about it all the time. Bringing freshmen in, you know, the realistic chance of a true freshman playing is slim to none, but you got to give them a full year, a full birthday, and they get most of their reps, and we can find out a lot about them in the spring of their freshman year because, they're not down on the scout team. They're trying to earn a position in the two deep. So, We're trying to find a freshman that can help us, or even a sophomore that hasn't played much, and then build our chemistry and find out who our leaders are going to be for the fall.
Well, we are super excited on behalf of the CAA to have Sacred Heart a member of the CAA family now. Coach, again, thank you for taking the time here today.
Thanks for having me. We're excited about it, and I appreciate you guys reaching out.